for the AsiaBerlin Summit 2021, but that's not the official opening because the guy who will do that is waiting for me to stop my speech. Why am I here? My name is Martin Rodek. I'm the German CEO of Edge, and Edge is a developer, but not a developer in maybe what you think a developer is. We are real estate developers, and we built this building. And it is a real pleasure to see people, to meet people, and to be able to host events like this, because that was one of the reasons why we built this building, how we did it. And it was really nice at the little breakfast we had that people said, hey, but this building is different. That's true, it's different. That is different because we interpret the office of the future or the workplace of the future, what you can see here, what you could see here if you would enter Scout 24's and Oracle's space. These two tenants are the anchor tenants in that building, but the two first floors are open for everybody. Means for people who just want to have a great coffee at the Milchhalle, but of course also for people who, as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur, as a startup, but also when you scale up or when you really grow up, there is space in that building, and this is how we develop buildings. We do that in Germany, we do that in the Netherlands, we do that in the UK, and we would be happy to do it maybe elsewhere. Ms. Pop left, she had to leave. She said, hey, do you have space for me? I'm not sure how many people work in the Senate or Wirtschaftsbehörde. Couple of, how many? 250, Jenny. Is that, can we kind of accommodate that? Let's see. Anyways, so that's from my end. Enjoy the 2 days here, and I heard it's a whole week of events. Great to have you here, and was a pleasure to see you. Thanks.
Are we live? Yeah, okay. So, hello everybody. We're back again at this AsiaBerlin Summit. Yes, a warm applause. My name is Dirk Marseille, and a very warm welcome to the viewers of our live stream as well. You will accompany us the whole day. I hope we have really the most amazing, cool panels with the best people coming from not only Berlin, but throughout Asia who've flown in to be here today with us. Also on social media, of course, you can follow this event. We will accompany you with short clips, interviews throughout the day. And if you want to know more about the schedule, then of course, visit the website asia.berlin. And you guys that are here today, we are so lucky. I don't know about you, but this is one of the first events again that I'm visiting with people coming so close again. I really have to get used to this again. It's nice, it gives a nice energy and a nice vibration, but it's still also a bit strange because of course everybody here is vaccinated or unfortunately had COVID before but has healed or is tested. But then still again, I mean, it has been so long. So I hope together today we will help each other as well in overcoming some social barriers and just start talking again like normal human beings about all those important topics that we're going to address today. Because some of you have been here before, and I mean, I was just realizing that talking to the same people sometimes can feel like, okay, I know your story, I know what you're doing, I know more or less what you want, so not really like you get new vibes. But on this specific topic, the Asia-Berlin ties, everything is changing every day. So talking to the same people after 1 year feels like it has been an eternity. Everything is changing, but fortunately, we are still the same people. So I'm really looking forward catching up with all of you and listening to all these wonderful stories that we hear every year again on this stage, enabling also people who have new insights with this platform to showcase what they're working on, and this is what this event is all about, namely that we want to connect people. Before we really dive deep into the program, because we have a couple of really cool guests here waiting on the first row, I have to apologize on behalf of Ramona Pop, the mayor of Berlin, and she has to attend, unfortunately, another event. How is this possible, you could say, because of course this is now the coolest event happening here in the city. But you know how it goes. When you're mayor of Berlin, then there are certain duties that you have to comply with. But, I mean, isn't it cool that the guy that you have known for all these years, who is pulling all the strings, getting everybody here together year after year, is now officially opening this AsiaBerlin Summit 2021. He is, of course, Rainer Seider. Give a warm welcome for Rainer Seider, who is the leader of the International Cooperation Unit of the Berlin Senate. And of course, after all those years, I can say, Rainer, please come onto the stage, take your moment and give him a wonderful opening applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much for this warm applause. Thank you, Dirk, for the introduction. Thank you, Martin Rodek, for hosting us here. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends of AsiaBerlin. Good afternoon, Asia. Good morning, Berlin. I have the great honor to welcome you today on behalf of the Berlin Senate. So we come here today on the construction side of AsiaBerlin, connecting startup ecosystems. AsiaBerlin is a vision, it's a strategy, and it's also a community. AsiaBerlin is a vision of a globally interconnected startup ecosystem that replaces the idea of one big local ecosystem that it has used to be the Silicon Valley. Startups highly depend on international contacts to get access to talents, finance, markets, production sites, innovation and development. But why Asia? I'm very often asked by German startups. Not so many Berlin startups consider Asia as a place for internationalization yet. But Asia is a continent with huge populations, strong economic growth, a high speed of innovation, fast-growing startup ecosystems with herds of unicorns. And at the same time, full of economic, environmental, demographic, cultural, and social challenges. So in one sentence, Asia is the ideal place for our hungry startups in Berlin. Asia is a challenge, true. But startups are conceived to accept challenges. And with AsiaBerlin, we help you overcome the problems in getting access to these intercontinental markets. So from the other perspective, why Berlin? Not many Asian startups or investors consider Berlin as a real place for scale in Europe yet. But Berlin is the ideal partner for hungry Asian startups and investors eager to scale in Europe. In Germany, Berlin is hosting about 5% of the population, 30% of the startups, and 50 to 60% of all investments are flowing in Berlin-based startups in Germany. So I think these are real numbers which show the relevance of Berlin as a startup ecosystem in Germany and Europe. Berlin startups acquired more than 4 billion euro in the first half of 2021 alone, which was more than we acquired the whole last year together, so 6 to 12 months. And it's 50 to 60% of all the money we receive in Germany. And 2020 was already a good year for all startups in Germany, so it was not a Corona year. So despite of Corona, 2020 was a good year, and the first half of 2021 was even much, much better. So we need this money to water Berlin's startup ecosystem as a breeding ground for unicorns. As a diverse, young, innovative and international city with a growing English-speaking startup ecosystem, Berlin is probably the strongest partner for Asia in the European Union, even more since Brexit. Berlin and its open and creative environment, its corporates and research institutes attract skills, entrepreneurs, and talents from all over the world, including Asia. We can even invite new Berliners to be part of the creation of our unfinished city, still in the making. Not many European cities can offer you that. So I admit, scaling in Berlin from an Asian perspective is not an easy task. So it starts with founding a GmbH under German law and the Berlin and German bureaucracy. But again, with AsiaBerlin, you have a forum to help you in doing so, to get the right solution and the right partners to trust in. So our vision is uniting the best brains and most innovative startups in our ecosystems from Asia and Berlin as the basis for future economic growth and ecological solutions worldwide. Within AsiaBerlin, we develop answers for urgent questions concerning our climate, our environment, our cities, our security and diversity in a collaborative process. That's why we will address all these topics during the summit. AsiaBerlin is the strategy to position Berlin as a partner for and a part of Asia's most important ecosystems. AsiaBerlin is a strategy of connecting Berlin to the most important hubs in Asia through delegation trips, specific programs, communication, and events, culminating in this summit. We have just started our first landing pad for female entrepreneurs from India. We are going to create an investors club on Wednesday, and we are creating an AsiaBerlin University network, just to mention some of our further steps of connecting our ecosystems. Nevertheless, building startup networks between continents is a long-term project and not a simple task. The cultural barriers between Asia and Europe are still quite high, and internationalization is not an easy task for all small companies, with the limited management capacities to screen all the options worldwide. To reduce these barriers, we are bringing startups, investors, corporates, as well as private and public support institutions here together in AsiaBerlin in order to build up personal trust. This personal trust is the basis for international cooperation. Hence, it is worth to work hard and long to facilitate these connections and cooperations. Finally, AsiaBerlin is a powerful and highly motivated community as well. There is only a small AsiaBerlin team in our Senate department. However, we are working in a strong team with our partners, NPACT and Openness, the AsiaBerlin Forum, and the AsiaBerlin ambassadors in Berlin and Asia, with our partners here in Berlin, including the Asian embassies and the Asians in Berlin startup ecosystem, as well as Berlin and federal institutions and ministries. With our partners in Asia, of course, with our sponsors and speakers, and all participants at this summit, our events and delegation trips. You are the pioneers to connect our ecosystems, uniting our best and most innovative people to develop answers for the most pressing global questions. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends of AsiaBerlin, due to Corona, traveling from Asia to Europe and back is still an adventure with many obstacles. Therefore, most Asians here sitting in this room did not fly in from Asia today, but are residents in Berlin. This is also true for Tina Nayak in the opening panel, who is of Indian origin and started up her company Useristics just last year. Also true for Naoyoshi Yoneyama, who's representing probably the most famous investor from Japan, SBI holding in Berlin. The panel also shows the importance of the fintech hub in Germany, Berlin, as Mrs. Nina Pütz is CEO of the fintech RatePay. A welcome to both of you, also to Geza, Mishaika, and all the speakers who will be present here during the summit and the next days. I'm especially happy to welcome the board members of Siemens and SAP, Cedric Neike and Thomas Saueressig. Thank you very much for coming today, for speaking at our first opening panel, but also for your true and long-term relationship with AsiaBerlin, and also, of course, for your sponsoring for the summit, which made it possible to be here today. And when I'm already speaking about sponsors, I would like to thank also Robert Herrmann, who will host the second panel today, and he's the third sponsor in the round, representing the Germany Trade and Invest and the D-Hub initiative, who is the new sponsor of AsiaBerlin and among the new partners of our summit. I would like to thank also Klaas Neumann, the president of the AsiaBerlin Forum and global head of SAP, who is, I hope you hear me and see me, Klaas, in Shanghai now and could not come today to meet us. The forum serves as a branch office of the summit. It coordinates the cultures and the embassies program at the summit. Thank you, openers. You did an incredible job in coordinating and preparing this summit, finding the right blend between online and offline experience with lots of challenges, with many partners and many satellite events, and bringing all these together is really a great job. I would also like to thank NPACT. NPACT is organizing the AsiaBerlin events. It's organizing the delegation trips, and it's planning also preparing some of the satellite events we will have from Wednesday to Friday with us, including the Investors' Day on Wednesday, which is one of the highlights also of the summit. Your work is very important for the growth and coherence of our AsiaBerlin community. Thank you, NPACT. I'm very happy about the commitment of our AsiaBerlin ambassadors. You support our bridge building activities with incredible enthusiasm, organizing satellites, panels, speaking, and moderating at the summit. Thank you, ambassadors. Thanks again to our host, Martin Rodek, for welcoming here this beautiful space of Edge here at the Central Station, vis-à-vis the Federal Office, the Federal Chancery at the riverside of the Spree. I would like to thank all our long-term and new partners of AsiaBerlin, like BearChain, who are organizing the Blockchain Summit, Silreal with the Sino-European Health Summit, Scaro, connecting Berlin and Vietnam, Crosby, connecting Japan and Berlin, and also Berlin Partner, who is quite active these days. I'm very curious to learn more about the innovation strategy and startup ecosystems in Asia and opportunities for meaningful cooperation. Therefore, I'm looking very much forward in this summit for constructive talks, insights into Asia and insights into Berlin, and a strong will and force for cooperation, connecting our ecosystem, always to foster economic growth and find ecological and social solutions for both of our continents. In this sense, I wish you all insightful talks and a great week in AsiaBerlin, and I would like to thank you for your patience. Thank you.